It's not your products, it's not your services, it's not getting funding, it's not your budget, it's not your experience, your expertise, it's not your price point, it's none of this. Okay? It's all about getting people's attention. And you're going to say, duh. I'm trying to tell you right now, if all you did was focus on getting people's attention and you didn't have products or services, you didn't have experience, all you did was focus on being hyper vigilant and mastered the just content, you could come up with products and services later. You would get all the funding that you ever needed because you have eyeballs and you have attention. So this is how you know that this is the number one problem. It's distribution. Can you stand out in a sea of noise? Can you grab eyeballs instantly? Can people trust you? Can you be credible? Can you be authentic? What I realize is that people choose the people they like. There's no hard, it's not about hard work. It's about how many people like you, how many people chose you. 100%. And this this kind of hurts my heart a bit because I'm just being honest as an entrepreneur, and I'm not discouraged or nothing. This is why I'm making this video, honestly, is we are a digital marketing company, and digital marketing is just crazy right now, okay? It's crazy. And the reason it's crazy is because everything is digital. Everything, all computers, I mean, obviously, everything's not digital, but we play in a digital world as much as possible, as much as we can. Our phones, our computers, our devices, our TV, everything is connected to the internet. Everything wants to connect to your Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, okay? And because of that, everyone's plugged into the system like the Matrix. So therefore, every business and every person who's trying to get in front of people is going through digital channels. If all the people's there, that's where all the businesses are going to focus. So because of that, you have so many people focusing on social media channels, even phone, getting text messages and spam, email, notifications, billboards. You go to sports games, nothing but ads. Everywhere you go is ads. Ads on taxis, and so we are getting inundated with advertisements every day. So it's basically like selective. I'm trying to think of like not selective memory, but like we're like purposely like blinding ourselves or becoming numb to advertisements. And the other thing is that technology is becoming cheaper. And because everyone is given their half-baked strategy and saying, here's how you make $10,000 running this simple ad with no experience, right? You've seen those videos of some guy talking about his strategy that he probably didn't even really fully do. And he's promising that you're going to make $10,000 a month with no experience, just copy and paste what I'm doing right now. And you got all these people just like creating ads. Just the volume of noise and the quality is so bad. It's like trash. It's like trash content, trash ads, trash websites. Everything's trash. And I don't mean trash because of the way it looks. I mean, people aren't really trying to solve problems for people like they used to. They're trying to just make money. And there's nothing wrong with trying to make money, but I feel like if you're not bringing any value to the table, you should sit this one out, okay? You should be really trying to solve a problem. And what you have, again, I keep saying it, is a sea of noise, okay? So therefore, you can have the best products and services that ever were created. No one would know. You can have the best website that's ever been designed, award-winning website from an award-winning designer. No one would ever know. Okay? You can have $1 million in the bank and you can create all types of ads and just put all this money behind your ads and they will underperform. And you get my point. It's not about your budget. It's not about your products and services. It's literally about the tip of the spear. It's about distribution. And the crazy thing about this is that there are people with no budget, okay, no products and services, no back. Their back. Look at my background. It's all messy. This is I care, but the stuff I would do to make a video. So let me clean up. Let me clean up my back. I don't care. I got some stuff back there. Got some wire. I don't even care. I really don't, because it doesn't do anything. Because I see people, and this is a positive message. This should be motivating for people. I've seen people on TikTok, on YouTube, with literally they're just in a random room in their house, talking to the camera, no production value at all. And they are just talking, and they have thousands and thousands of views, subscribers, engagement. And what I realized is, because we're everything's so digital, we're craving for authentic people on the internet. We want to connect with people. We don't want to connect with brands, company brands. We want to connect with personal brands. We want authenticity. We want to trust them. We want to believe them. And I believe it's this concept of dating your audience, right? You're not coming in hot. You're not trying to marry them. You're not trying to take them home so you can score. You're just like, hey, let's get coffee. And it's like, next time you say, hey, you want to go grab drinks? And then before you know it, you're married with kids. And this is the trend. And here's the hard part for people to get, including us, because we like to move fast. And I realized it's not working. Our content strategy that we originally started just has fallen short. And it's because that we're not being ourselves first. We're trying to run strategy too much. And this is what happens when you're in business mode. And this is the weird thing about it, because it's like, you got to be in business mode, but you got to be kind of like in regular person mode, like civilian mode. I know that sounds crazy. And I'm not saying that you can't apply systems to this stuff, but you just got to put out content that connects with people, that stuff that's being said that hasn't been said before, or they haven't heard in a long time, but it has to be genuine from you. And I think this is where the personal brand comes in, where it's, what's your approach? Like, how do you think about stuff? What's your belief system? And it has to be tied to the problem you solve, the domain that you're trying to speak into, right? The space, the industry that you're trying to play within, right? Come up with your unique method, come up with your frameworks, come up with your experience, your stories, your thoughts, the fact that you're confused about things, questions that you're mulling over in your head. And I think a big part of it isn't, hey, this is what you should do. Hey, let me tell you what you should do. I've helped thousands of people, and I'm not saying this stuff doesn't work, okay? Because it does work. People want to know that you're an authority. But I think ultimately people want to know that you're on a journey too. Hey, guys, I'm going to tell you what I just figured out. I feel stupid for not knowing this sooner or not thinking about this sooner. And here's the shifts I'm going to make in my life, or in this thing, or in that thing, or when I approach this is the new way I'm going to do it, because I can't believe this. I was missed this before, and then lay it out. But my point is that you do not need products and services or anything yet. You need to focus on the content. And it's not just content. It is trust building, relationship building, engagement building, community building content. You kind of have to lay your cards out on the table, okay? You kind of got to be vulnerable, and take that word vulnerable the way you want to take it. You don't got to share everything, but you can't come in hot with all the answers, all the experience. And look, somebody's going to put something in a comment and say, no, I want to know somebody knows what they're doing. And yes, it depends on the industry, but I think you guys know what I'm saying. Go start looking at the content that's performing well on TikTok, Instagram. I'm trying to think, maybe not LinkedIn, because LinkedIn's weird. I still haven't. LinkedIn is seems like the fakest place on earth. Facebook, I said Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, right? Those are the ones that we're kind of focusing on. And just look as you enjoy content, because we all have an addiction. So we're not going to try to front like we don't have an addiction. Next time you're looking at content, look at the stuff you're liking. Look at the stuff that's getting views. Now, granted, you're going to see high production value content that's working as well. It's not that you want to make crappy content because it looks good. My point is that you do not need an amazing camera. Look, listen. I'm gonna tell you what I just did. So this is a Sony ZV-1 camera right here. Sony ZV-1. This is the camera I was using. I was trying to clear off my desk, so I have like all this stuff, and this plugs into this Blackmagic A10 Mini and plugs into my computer, and it's just all this stuff. And it just my setup was just doing too much. So what I did is, you won't believe this, but this is an iPhone. It's behind a teleprompter, and I'm not reading any. I don't have any script up, but I'm just recording on an iPhone on OBS on my computer. Okay, and what I'm realizing is that it's about the content, it's about the connection. And the last thing I'll say, and then I'll end this video, because I tend to like keep going when I think I got my point across, but this part is important. The one thing you do want to think about as you make content, and you don't have to have this figured out, because as you make content, you'll get better and better and better. So part of it is actually you making the first pieces of content is actually what's going to make your next content better, because you're going to get your rhythm. You're going to see the engagement you're getting. People are going to might ask questions, and then you'll start to make those moves that's going to help you just basically get more eyeballs. But you want to develop, okay, where are people that are listening to my content? Where are they in their lives, right? And where do they want to get to, right? Where are they trying to go? Where do they want to be? What do they want to be? What's in their way? And how could I make content that moves them closer to where they're trying to be? And it really does help if you are speaking from the fact that you solved your own problems and you're solving your own problems. Because now you start to build a community where people are like, oh, he or she, they're in the same space I'm in. They're trying to do the same thing I'm trying to do. They're just a couple steps ahead of me, or they're 10 steps ahead of me, right? You don't have to be like so far ahead. You just got to be like a couple steps ahead of people. And they're like, oh, he just went down the road that we got to go down. He said, make a right. Let's make a right. I'm gonna listen to him because he just did it. We always think it's like, yeah, 10 years ago when I went down that road, I did this. They're like, well, the road is different now, so I don't even know if I should listen to you. So this is myth of you got to be this expert, and you really don't. You just got to be, hey, I'm actively solving these problems for myself, and here's where I'm trying to go, and here's where I was, and people are going to start to come. You build it, they will come. Like Field of Dreams, right? Kevin Costner, right? You build it, they will come, and what you're building is your message, right? And you want to be consistent. But the point I was trying to make is that you have to have an idea of where people are trying to go, where they are, so you can speak to that. Hey, I know where you are. I know how you feel. Okay. Hey, has this stuff it blocked you, or have you experienced this? Or let me tell you a story about and then, hey, this is what happened last week. I got to where I was trying to go, or I got the success. And people are like, I want the success too. So I think that really is, at the end of the day, all I would focus on, or the majority of what I would focus on. Now, depending on where you are in your business, you're just like, well, I already got products and services. I can't not care about those. Well, duh. But this is how you're going to make money. If you don't have products and services, or you're an aspiring entrepreneur, or you want to start a business, or you're thinking about this stuff, it's all about connecting with people. Now, if you have a service-based business and you sell your time for money, you're a freelancer, things like that, it's not as hard because you're doing more one-to-one communication, right? So you might be doing cold outreach, calling people, which is horrible. I wouldn't wish cold calling on my worst enemies. Cold outreach via emails is hit or miss. It's a numbers game. Content is the thing that just is the best thing as far as your time and effort. It's just, if you get good at that and you only need 1 or 2 clients a month to make good money, it's even easier for you, right? Like and this is another thing I'll say that I'm done. If your business model is your content needs to make money, then I'm not saying that ship is sold, but it is saturated. Okay. But if your business model is going to be, hey, I'm going to have products and services at some point, so I need less people. And I'm really, my content is really about getting people to where they want to go. And the vehicle that's going to get them there are my products and services. If that's your business, if that's what you're thinking, then content is easy as far as cold calling and all that, because once you get good at content and once you get good at connecting people, it's scalable. You're just standing there, getting in front of the camera, saying some stuff, and now 2,000 extra people see your content, right? And now your leads go up. So that to me is what I'm specifically talking about. I'm not talking about influencers, right? Where you're literally trying to get views and get paid by TikTok or AdSense, Google AdSense or anything like that. Now, I know some people that got service-based businesses that play the content game, sold their products and services, and their content just kept spreading. And now they're getting brand deals and they're doing partnerships and stuff like that. But they're still not getting paid like off the views, right? Because they have a hyper targeted audience in other businesses that maybe they're not competing with once they get access to their audience, but more importantly, the trust that their audience has with them. So that's really what this is all about. So I guess my call to action is drop down in the comments what you think, really honestly. Like, let's start engaging with each other. There's a freaking fly. I hate flies. Man, I open the door for a second and they just come in. We have a reef on our door, on our front door. There's a reef. I think my wife took it off. Yeah, I can see the door right now. There's no reef. She took it off today because the bugs would hide in the reef. And then you open the door and then it's like a whale's mouth and it just sucks all the bugs out the reef into the house. It's crazy. But what I was saying about let's start a dialogue. You disagree with me? You agree with me? What I have wrong, what I have right? Tell me your experiences. I don't care. We can argue if you want. Okay, we'll do it respectfully, but I'm here for all the smoke. I know that the distribution is where you start, and I think this is liberating for people because you don't have to have everything else figured out. Start making content and figure that part out as you go. I'm convinced that somebody could spend 2 years, like the Giant Maker, like me and my business partner, 2 years building up all your products and services, just hustling, doing all this type of work for 2 years and start doing content. I'm convinced that somebody could take 1 year, just focus on content, and then take 1 year and focus on products and services. And the same time it took me and my business partner to get to where we are now, that person in 2 years will have a distribution channel and they'll have products and services. And I believe that they will make 50 times more money than the Giant Maker can make with the way we did it. I believe that wholeheartedly. That's how much content is a lever. Okay. Distribution is a lever where you can get on and put out a video or you can send out an email and eyeballs will see it. They will see your message. That is powerful. That's what we're talking about. All right. I'll see you in the comments.